And welcome to Alonzo's Facts of the Day. Today, I'm here to tell you that the word yo was first used in the 15th century. They used it in the same way as we do today. A single strand of spaghetti is called a spaghetto. And if you inhale a pea, it can sprout and grow in your lungs. This happened to a guy in Massachusetts, and he thought he was having... he had emphysema, and then he thought he was going to have cancer, and then they discovered a sprouted pea in his brachiae and all of that. In Japan, there are Pepsi-flavored Cheetos, which sounds incredible. It's like having two fast food items at the same time. It's like in The Wizard of Oz, I remember that they had this meal called the square meal. You would eat it, and then you would be able to taste your entire meal. And this is that, but instead of mashed potatoes and Brussels sprouts and all of the other foods that I don't even want to mention because they don't go with my particular moral code. This is like the fast food version of that. Right-handed people tend to chew food on the right-hand side of their mouth, and vice versa for the left-handed people, which is interesting. I actually tried noticing this one, and I don't completely, I like all of a sudden I'm like, I'm chewing. I should see if that fact is true. I'm left-handed, and I was chewing on the right side of my mouth. So I don't know if it's a more often sort of thing or what, but I think you can tell in dental records and all that sort of thing. So I wouldn't really doubt that one. This is, I believe, this is kind of my favorite fact of the day. Right here, right now. Are you ready? During the 18th century, you could pay your admission ticket to the zoo in London by bringing a cat or a dog to feed the lions. Can you imagine that? You could bring, like, you could bring your pet or your neighbor's pet. If you're a dog walker, you'd have plenty of zoo trips available at your dispense. And you'd probably get to watch the lions tear your pet apart, which is quite extraordinary. I wonder when they stopped. Was there an outcry? Cookie Monster's real name is Sid. Popsicles were invented by an 11-year-old boy. This was at the beginning of the night. Like 1900s, I think 1910, something like that. But pretty cool to think of a world before then without popsicles, and now they're just everywhere. There's a breed of bacteria that lives in hairspray, which, I mean, I guess that they found it once. It seems like bacteria are everywhere. So, but I mean, I guess that there's one type that can, like, lives in one hairspray. I really need to look more into that. Maybe they just found some, like, one that had evolved to live in a hairspray container, like an isolated incident. I mean, I can't imagine that they're all, like, connected and, like, there's a specially evolved line of bacteria in every bottle of hairspray. That would be too crazy. Okay, so this one, it's kind of a sad one. Michael Jordan makes more money from Nike than all the Nike factory workers in Malaysia combined. Yikes. That's just sad and scary. Okay, Buzz Aldrin was the first man to pee on the moon, even though technically he just peed into he was standing on the moon and peed into a special bag inside a spacesuit. He didn't actually, his urine did not make a strange gravitational trail into the moon dust. He did not make it yellow. So, but he was the first to urinate while he was standing on the moon, which is kind of cool. That's, I mean, I'd claim that. Like, like he was able to relieve himself while standing on a completely different body. So there was this dancing plague of 1518, which is 500 years ago to this year, where one woman started dancing. Like, I guess that this area was filled with disease and starvation, so everybody was kind of going a little nuts. And one woman just started dancing in the city, and the rest of the city joined in with her. And I love this because I love dance and like, what is our human connection with dancing? There's some way that it enables us to transcend. And so these people transcended their disease and suffering and starvation by dancing, and they kept doing it for days. And more people joined. Weeks passed. More joined. Then people started dying while they were dancing. And I guess some reports say upwards of like a dozen people would die in a day, and they had like a couple hundred people dancing nonstop for weeks, for months. And actually, the city thought it was cool, and so they got musicians to come and help keep time. So I guess that the governing bodies at the time just made it worse, and tons of people ended up dying. There's a whole book written about this event, even though I guess you can look into it, and like all of the facts, all of the main details are well reported, but there's not much info on like the biographies of the actual dancers, which is what I was interested in. So it's kind of a dead end story. It'd be interesting to see if there's more that we know, but it seems like there wasn't much put into discovering like who these people were, which today, like if something like that were to happen today, can you imagine how interested society would be? We'd go and get biographies on all these people and like figure out who they were, what made them tick. And back then they didn't care as much, I guess. I guess they were all dying of starvation and disease. So yeah. Ben & Jerry's workers get 3 free pints of ice cream every day. So if you're in the market for a new job and you like ice cream, that'd be dope. I've actually, oh my gosh, I have pints they have new vegan almond ice cream. I have quite a few of those in my trash can right now, and I ate quite a bit for breakfast today, so don't tell anybody. There are no Walmarts in New York City. An airplane's black box is actually orange. Makes sense because they want to be able to see it. It's like a bright orange, so you don't want to make a black box actually black. They just call it the black box. The average child will eat 1,500 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches before graduating high school. I think I probably was right along in that statistic. Another airplane fact, the airplane's pilot and co-pilot eat different meals just in case one of them causes food poisoning. This song Jingle Bells was originally written for Thanksgiving. Jingle Bells, like it was not a Christmas song at all. Which brings me to wonder, like, what is Thanksgiving music? There's not any like Thanksgiving albums that I know of. Am I just forgetting? Or is there really none? Is there Thanksgiving music? Oh, I know. The turkey is a funny bird. His name. No, the turkey is a funny bird. His song goes goes gobble gobble, and all he says is just one word. No, I don't know how that song goes. I'm forgetting it. So, the turkey is a funny bird. Anyway, I'm going to continue. I think he moves like wobble wobble, and all he says is just one word: gobble 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 gobble. That's how it goes. India has a Bill of Rights for cows. Pirates used earrings because they thought wearing them would improve or even cure bad eyesight. Beard hair, which I just shaved off, is as tough as copper wire. And finally, there are more printed copies of the IKEA catalog than Bibles. Another evidence that consumerism is our major religion. And another one to remember, Martha Stewart. When she was in prison, she became a billionaire. which is kind of crazy. She went to jail for insider trading, and she was actually making so much money that she became a billionaire while in prison. So it shows, again, what our religion is. Until next time, that's Alonzo's Facts of the Day.